My brother said this on the last, people should check out Media Roots Radio, it's our podcast, but he said, we are Jeffrey Dahmer on steroids times a million. That is what the U.S. government has done. Just in the last 20 fucking years.
Right.
How many millions of people's blood is on this government's hands? How many tens of millions of people have been expelled from their homes, maimed, lives destroyed? And you have the fucking audacity to talk about China? To talk about China when you actually know nothing about this country. You are ignorant of their politics, their culture, their economic system. The vast majority of people hammering and harping about China constantly are completely ignorant about what's going on in China, and they don't give a shit about their own government. Look in your own backyard, fix your own backyard, because this government's a genocidal entity that has just total bloodlust, and we need to stop it. Because I mean, how many countries are under the boot of U.S. empire and imperialism, right? I mean, look at the bases around the world, 700 plus bases, tens of millions of people affected by this. It's just absolutely beyond the pale. 1 million dead in Iraq alone. Look at Syria, look at Libya, look at the coups in Latin America. Mm-hmm. I mean, I can't stand it. It's like, yes, I wish that I could do something to just wave a magic wand and end all oppression all around the world. But guess what I can do? I'm an American citizen. I'm an empire baby. And what I can do is actually resist my government, because all of the people around the world who are living under the boot of imperialism are looking to us saying, what the hell is wrong with you? Can you please form some sort of movement to stop your government from oppressing me? Yep, China, Russia, 2 nuclear-armed powers that pose no threat to us whatsoever, but because they are economic competitors with this government, and which has been articulated as such very blatantly by Tony Blinken and all of these other people. Right. The NATO conference that just happened, this is all articulated in their own documentation. It says these are global competitors that need to be dealt with, because we need to impose our global order, right? This is the big deterrent from U.S. hegemony taking over the planet, is China and Russia. It's outrageous. This is what propaganda does. It melts people's brains, and it really just deflects from the problems of your own government. When your government is a mass murdering entity, when your government is illegally occupying dozens of countries, when your government is engaged in warfare, mass murder, and also has Guantanamo Bay still open, that's rectally force-feeding inmates that are innocent. And you actually have the audacity to talk about concentration camps in another country. It's amazing. It's amazing how well and effective propaganda works, because people will actually conflate the two. And I find it really fascinating when China's the one who's being bombarded with the war games, the threats, the constant propaganda of U.S. warfare and U.S. domination, and it's just unbelievable. We're in a global pandemic. We need global cooperation, and here we are talking about how China needs to be dealt with, and it's just disgusting that these are the people who are elected to represent us. And we're all just cannon fodder for the capitalists. It's just like, it's unreal. But yeah, it really is just a big old deflection, and that's really what it comes down to. People who are too babyish to deal with how genocidal their own government is, because then it makes the impetus fall on their shoulders, where they actually have to do something about it. So it's much easier to just say, well, China.
Yeah.
And if we're not the empire, then China, and they would fall in place, and then they do this and that. It's like, that's insane. No one has to be the empire.